Don't you think that's embarrassing? I couldn't stop laughing at it.
Let's go. Jesse, what is male modesty?
Well, I had to Google that because I had no idea. I think in summary, we talk a lot about women's modesty and the way they dress and act. And I think from my research that the same applies for men. Male modesty refers to a male's attitude, behaviors, and clothing. I think attitudes, behaviors, and clothing are all outward expressions of an inward issue.
We're so married.
Of wanting to be noticed or needing attention.
We're so married. It's not just being noticed. It indicates a deeper issue of sensuality, of woundedness as a child, all sorts of things that can't really be blamed on a situation. One second. People get upset whenever a woman in a swimsuit walks by and a guy looks at her, or guys are playing volleyball and take their shirts off and girls are tempted, or guys shouldn't have done that, girls shouldn't have looked, who did what, who was in the wrong. All I know is if we don't address some heart matters, some inward matters like Jesse was saying, we're gonna be shooting in the dark. It's gonna be the blame game.
Okay, I think some people don't like how much we share on YouTube, so we are open about our lives, but at the same time very modest about our clothing. I don't know, there's a lot of things we don't talk about on YouTube. You don't get it all, I'll just say.
I think we should do a review of all the restaurants that we eat at. What do you think? What do you think out of 10?
9.
I'm gonna go with a 9 as well. We should rank the places in Stephenville. We should do, forget best of Erath County, best of Bite a Brownie.
Brownie. Best.
Just tell it.
Well, I was just talking about how people mix up their words when you want to say something, but your brain says something else, and then you mix the words. And one of my friends was saying that her coworker was saying goodbye to someone at the window, like they work at a fast food restaurant, and she was shutting the window, and as she was shutting the window, she said, "Have a good idea." And then when that shut, I'll have a good idea. You know what else is embarrassing? When you say hi to someone and you're like, "Hey, how are you doing? Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in so long." It's not the person you thought. You know what I'm talking about?
All right, I'm gonna have to admit that I'm not an expert in this particular field because I just found out about male modesty this morning whenever you asked the question. Just stick with me on the journey here because male modesty appears to me to be the same thing as female modesty, which means there's gonna be two ways that you can split this thing. And like I said before, it has a tendency to become a blame game if you're not careful. Because if you have, let's just use the one that we're used to. If you have an attractive woman dressed attractively or seductively or however you want to put it, depending on which side of the fence you fall on, you're either going to say, why are people looking at that person and what's wrong with them? Lust. Or why is she dressing that way and needing attention, seductive spirit or sensual spirit? Either way, it's an internal issue. I think if you make an entire statement and say women can't wear such and such a clothing, they need to wear a garment from top to bottom and only have their eyes exposed, I think you're gonna miss the point. I think whenever we take it on a case-by-case basis and we're dealing with somebody who's either struggling with a heart issue of lust or struggling with the need for attention, I think we can identify those maybe in the external, maybe by what our eyes are looking at or by how we're dressing, but we really need to get at the root of the issue. You can dress from top to bottom and be the most seductive thing on the planet. I mean, look at me. Let's say for a TV show, if something is rated TV PG-13, a lot of times they will cut out a sex scene, or they will cut out a drug use scene, or they will cut out something. But what they do is they fade to black, or they will paint a picture, or they'll let the sound roll, or they'll do something to that effect that lets your mind wander. And they're still planting a seed of seduction or mischievous behavior. Whatever it is, the seed's already planted, the issue's already there. And oftentimes that's what happens when you have a seductive or a sensual spirit, or you're struggling with those strongholds in your life, maybe fully clothed from top to bottom. But whenever you walk by, when you walk into a room, when you walk into the presence of the opposite sex, you're putting off that seduction. And it's not gonna matter what you're wearing. Vice versa, if you're struggling with lust and sexual issues like that, sexual immorality, you're susceptible to a spirit of seduction or sensuality, then it doesn't matter what the person's wearing anyway, you're trying to undress them with your eyes. All of that to say, that's the fast, quick, and dirty version to say it's a heart issue. Always has been, always will be. If we keep on addressing the exterior, we're gonna miss the point, and we're gonna find ourselves making hard, fast judgment calls for entire sections of humanity. Entire sexes will be boxed into what you can and cannot wear. That's my 2 cents. Like I said, just found out about it this morning. Hopefully I didn't step on any toes. I'm just firing from the hip. Okay, Joshua, it's time for the question of the day, and you guys, I want you to weigh in the comment section below as well, because it's something that's new-ish, that's kind of popping up. I'm not really sure how to handle yet as a pastor. A lot of folks my age, millennials and below, are dealing with mental health issues, or at least what they're labeling as mental health issues. Not any of them, that, to my knowledge, are being diagnosed by any type of medical health professional, but there's a new thing coming out that everyone takes a mental health day. They're all dealing with some level of severe depression, and they need to take some mental health time. What do you think about that? Obviously, I'm still processing through with that myself, but what do you guys think about that? Is that something that everyone should have? Should we all have a mental health day? A series of days where we just need to get away and readjust, sit alone with the Lord? Is that something that should be instituted across the United States or across the world, or not? Or is the whole thing just a load of baloney? All right, guys, head on over to Joshua's channel right now, and we'll find out how he answered male modesty. I'm seriously dying to know. We'll come back over here tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., where we're going to be trying to tackle the mental health issue. I'm going to pull some gurus and figure out what's going down here. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. I'm out.
And I can't hear you if you want me to stay.
Don't you think that's embarrassing?